Aloha and welcome to the Aloha Consultants channel. My name is Kumuvai and this is your daily dose of aloha. I'm coming to you on the night of the full moon, Hoku, and that is April 7th. By the time you see this, it'll probably be April 8th, and we'll be into the next phase of the moon. Tonight we're going to be studying about Ho'ola, and this is to heal, to cure, rapid recovery. And that means to be actively involved in living. But before we get into our reading, I would like to talk to you about the full moon. Now, it's very significant that across the world right now, we are all seeing the same moon, and it's all a full moon. And I'd like to read to you from a book that I refer to at times to get myself some information about how the Hawaiians used to view the moon. And it comes from a beautiful reference book called Ano Lani, Ano Honua, A Heavenly Nature and Earthly Nature. And this is a spiritual guide to the Hawaiian Lunar Calendar by Kahu Wendell, Kalanikapuaenui, Silva. Okay? So Hoku. Auhea vale oi mahina o Hoku. Where art thou, O night of the full moon? And here it is, Hoku. Okay. So, Kamea no ka Uhane, the spiritual significance. Hoku is the name of the 15th night of the Hawaiian moon calendar. It marks the midpoint of the monthly lunar cycle. It is identified with feminine energy, the eastern direction, and the element of vai, water. Hoku is the night when the moon appears at its fullest. It was spiritually affiliated with the lunar goddess Hina and of all generations of humans and the attraction she embodied. She is revered as the eternal mother of all humans born and unborn, and represented the female principle of fecundity that ulu ahu ahu promotes growth and the proliferation of all life on earth. As an ancestral goddess, Hina was venerated in ancient Hawaii as a spiritual expression of the feminine divine. So Hina is our divine mother, the mother of our spirit. That's what the Hawaiians believe. And it's very interesting because I live right next to a street called Pu'uhina, and that means the hill of Hina. And so I live on the hill of Hina, my mother's bosom. Okay? So it's very interesting. I also live near a place called Rainbow Falls. And Rainbow Falls has a story to it that has to do with Hina, our mother. It has to do with a story where she was in danger of having her light put out because of an evil mo'o, a dragon, who was trying to block her light by throwing rocks into a cave that she was enlightened in and she was hiding out in. And her son Maui came to save her. As she cried out, Maui came and he fought with the mo'o, the dragon, and he won. And he pushed that dragon all the way up the river, the Wailuku River. And so the dragon never returned again. And Hina could live peacefully in her home again, here at Rainbow Falls, Wailele o Waianuenue. And that's the story of Hina and how her son Maui came to her rescue. And there's a lot of other stories about Hina as well. So let's hear about tonight, Hoku, the full moon, and what kind of day it is good for, or night. He la mai kai no keia mau mea. So, early Hawaiians looked forward to the night of the Hoku moon. It was welcomed as a propitious time that brought traditional blessings of good health, fortune, and prosperity. The Hoku phase of the moon manifests a spiritual energy that enhances intuitive abilities, innate skills, and occult powers. Hoku was considered a very good day for seeking ma lama lama, enlightenment, mana'o akamai, spiritual wisdom, and for exploring the depths of the soul. It was spiritually regarded by kahuna kaula seers as a very favorable night for divining the future and consulting the omens. On the night of Hoku, kahuna were often called upon to reveal intuitive insights, share prophetic messages, and unveil mystic knowledge born of divine inspiration. And so it says, psychic energy, divination, seeking wisdom, prophecy, and good fortune. That's what the night is good for. It's not good for fears, self-doubt, insecurity, despair, depression, or conflict. So a lot of things happen on a full moon night. If you're connected to the spirit and you are willing to be a good person and help your fellow man and take care of yourself, then this is a good night for you. But if you are not good and your attitude is bad, then this is not a good night for you. And this is a good night to stay home. Although we do like to go out and see the full moon. So if you are willing to brave it, it's a beautiful night because it's supposed to be a very big pink moon. So I hope that you were able to do that, because by the time you see this, it'll probably be the next day already. So we're going to talk a little bit about ho'ola. So let's read what the card ho'ola means, all right? Ho'ola. So it means cure, rapid recovery, to heal, all right? So when life challenges you, it is natural to resist. However, in the resistance, you waste great energy that could be used for recovery. By accepting and embracing what is, you give yourself the gift of all, allowing all of your life force to come present for healing. Resentment, resistance, expectations, and blame prevent healing. The most rapid road to recovery is to accept the truth of what is and to support yourself in whatever way is needed. So, my intention is to heal quickly by releasing resistance and accepting what is, and by allowing all of my life force to come present for my rapid recovery. Ho'ola. It is backwards on your screen, I apologize. But ho'ola, H-O, glottal stop, okina, O-L-A. Ho'ola. What does that mean? Well, ho'ola is a word that is a verb that is actually a noun. So ola is life, or it's a condition. You're living, okay? Ho'ola means to be actively involved in living. So if you are actively involved in living, you are actively involved in your health care. So if you feel sick or something is happening with you, you need to take control of your health. And you have to have some sovereignty over yourself and your health care. You cannot wait for a doctor to give you a cure of anything. They can give you things to help you to get through it. But everything, even antibiotics, these help your body to work properly in the way that it's supposed to. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying from my knowledge and living this long in this world and being having to go through a lot of different procedures, being a mother and seeing my children go through a lot, seeing my asthmatic son have to take steroids for his entire life, and it really messed up his mind. So a lot of times just knowing yourself and knowing your body can help you more than the drugs that they try to give you. And I'm not against any drug or pharmaceutical company. I'm trying to say that we have to have health sovereignty and to be able to apply a treatments to our lives, to our health that we want to. Okay? So I have some suggestions that you can use at home. It's very simple stuff. So I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying this is what I use. I do take supplements, vitamin C and D and all the multivitamins and fish oil. So some of the other things that I do is I drink native herbal tea. So that's here, and that is Uhaloa. And then I also drink turmeric tea. That's this one, right? It's orange. We call it in Hawai'i olena. Okay, olena. And it's a root. You can get that turmeric at any place. It's really easy to get. You can even grow it in your yard and make it proliferate it yourself. Okay, propagate it yourself. And then of course there's the regular ginger. You can put into your food or your soup. You can put it in saimin. And then of course we have lemon. You can have any kind of citrus that can go into your tea or into, I drink lemon water every day just to, what it does is it cleanses you. These things take the toxins out of your body better than anything else. There's a lot of other remedies, but these are just mine because I'm from Hawaii, and this is what I have been taught to use. Okay, we also have Hawaiian salt. Okay, and this is pa'akai, we call it pa'akai, and it comes from the ocean. This one is very special. It came from Kauai, and I'll take a little right now. I'll show you just a little pinch. And what it does is it balances you. Now everybody needs a little bit of salt every day. I wouldn't recommend a lot of salt. Some people can't handle any salt. This is salt that comes straight from the ocean. There is no preservatives. There's no monosodium glutamate or any kind of fillers. It is straight salt. And if you gargle with this, if you get any kind of sore throat, get some warm water. If you don't have this kind of salt, ocean salt, sea salt, then you can use this regular salt from the salt shaker. Not the best, but something. So salt will cleanse your throat. It'll help to take care of all the bacteria. And that's just a suggestion I have as a mother that I have used myself and learned from my own mom. That if you gargle with salt water, it can help your throat a lot. Alright? That's one simple way to take care of symptoms. And then of course drinking your tea. I have mine. And this is a blend of the Uhaloa tea that I collected, and also some olena, and that is the turmeric. Okay, so these are herbal teas. They're not going to cure anything, but they can assist you with the symptoms. So that's a really important thing. So ho'ola, there's more than one way to look at ho'ola. To be actively involved in your own health, to have health sovereignty, to have medicinal sovereignty, to be able to apply the things to our life. Maybe you like chicken soup. Maybe you like beans. There's a lot of different things that we have used in the past to address symptoms that could very well help you today. But one of the most important things to physical health, of course, as I mentioned before, is your mental health. So if you have good mental health and you have a strong spirit, you will have a better chance of having better physical health. And I'm not advocating that you disregard health protocols and guidelines because you are so strong. We don't want to be risky, okay? We want to be smart, akamai, right? So some of us, we don't have a mask, right? So we're going to be using our own materials. And what I have chosen, because I live in Hawaii, I'm very fortunate. I have beautiful scarves we call kihe, all right? And so I put the kihe around my neck when I go to the store or in public if I have to. And I've been quarantining, so I haven't been around a lot but when I'm around another person and around anybody, I will put my scarf on and I will cover my nose and mouth, my ihu, my nose, and my vaha, my mouth. So right like this. And it's pretty fashionable. It's not that hard. You just wrap it around, you put it in front of you, wrap it around the back, and pull the two ends in the front, and you have yourself a fashionable scarf mask. Now, of course, we all look like we're from another country, but that's okay. Right now, that's what you got to do to stay alive, okay? And to be healthy and to be actively involved in your own health and healthcare, all right? And to take care of yourself means that you're actually contributing to the rest of the world, because you're not going to be a drag on resources. You're going to be a resource. So we want to be a resource, all right? So one thing I wanted to say about health sovereignty is that here in Hawaii, we have been victim to many plagues: smallpox, measles, yellow fever, leprosy. Story of leprosy is very sad because people with leprosy, majority of people were Hawaiians, and they were isolated and exiled to an island that was more remote than the main islands, and it's called Molokai. And there are still people there today that have leprosy, that had lived there all their lives, and the government had to do this because leprosy was very a scourge on the Hawaiian kingdom in the 1800s. And there's a famous missionary. His name was Father Damien. Many people know him. I believe he's from Bulgaria. And he came all the way to Hawaii to help us in the middle of the Pacific. And we thank him very much because he showed great compassion to the Hawaiians. Hawaiians, native people that had thousands of years of health and millions of people at one time. And then when the contact was made and immigration started, heavy immigration from Europe and Asia and America, then the Hawaiians got all of these diseases that they weren't able to fight off because, number one, they didn't have the immunities. Number two, they were very loving, so they're always hugging everybody, and they weren't discretionary, aloha, aloha, aloha. So when the foreigners came and they had these diseases, they were able to withstand them, but the Hawaiians were not. And another thing is that for some reason, and I guess to take the blame off of themselves, many missionaries had convinced the Hawaiian people, not all the missionaries, but many of the lead missionaries had convinced the Hawaiian people and their leadership that leprosy and all these things were because the Hawaiian people were not good. They were sinful. They had to follow the Christian God and deny their own gods and their own medicine. So the kahuna la'au lapa'au, which is the doctors and the healers of the old Hawaiian days, they were very spiritual. And so because they prayed over people, because they had their own methods that for healing from plants that were found and gathered in remote places that nobody else were, able to go, but only the kahuna. They knew where those plants were, they grew them, they did all these things to do protocols and help their people to survive all these years. And then the missionaries came, and I'm not trying to be anti-missionary, I'm just saying that when people of the Christian faith came and cut these healers off from their people, then there was no one to help the Hawaiians to heal. So, flash forward to now, a lot of that is still imprinted on the DNA of the Hawaiian people today. That we are not anti anybody, but we have deep pain within our genealogy, the generations that come before us, of this scourge upon our people and being blamed for diseases that were not even our fault, that came to our shores, infected us, got us sick, caused the government to take some of our people out on ships and throw them in the water and make them swim to the shore of this remote island with barely any limbs. A lot of them got eaten by sharks because leprosy patients were seen as so vile that they just threw them over the bow of the ship, and if they made it to shore, that was good for them. If they didn't, well, too bad. And these were all kinds of people. They treated them like just animals. So we don't want to get like that today. We don't want to repeat history. We don't want to treat anybody with the virus that is happening today, or with any kind of disease like a leper. Okay, and this is also in biblical days. They had leprosy, and that's how people treated them, like lepers. They didn't want to touch them. They didn't want to go near them. So it takes a lot of courage for people like Father Damien to come forward and help people like the Hawaiians who didn't have anyone to care. And you know, there were leaders in the foreign population that were predicting that the Hawaiian race would be eradicated from the face of the earth by the 20th century. They were predicting this. I'm not sure if they cared. I'm not sure if they even cared. But I know that there were many people that didn't realize the value of the Hawaiians, and they were just going along with the crowd. I tell you, when you look at history, there's been a lot of things blamed on people that were not even their fault. Okay, we cannot be blaming China for the virus that is happening today. Things happen, and when we marginalize people because of the disease, I think it's very dangerous. It's very unkind, and it, of course, in Hawaii we would say that shows no aloha at all. But the main point is that we have the ability today to help ourselves. We're educated, we are empowered. Nobody's telling us we have to do anything right now. So I encourage all of you to take control of your health. It's the night of the full moon that I am speaking to you. It's about midnight on April 7th, going on to April 8th, 2020. And this is the condition of our world today. I give you a daily dose of aloha, not because I want to just be on YouTube, or because I want people to like it, or because I want to be famous, or I want to make money. None of that is true. I am here to give you divine messages of spiritual value so that you can survive through this crisis and beyond. I'm giving you a daily dose of spirituality from Hawaii, from my heart to you. Alo I ke alo, aloha aku. Aloha aku, aloha mai. What I get back is divine. So maybe I don't know the people who are watching right now. Maybe I don't know you, maybe I do. But my reward is always from Akua, always from above. I never feel like I need to charge money for my services. Whether I get money or not is not my kuleana. And how you respond is really not my kuleana, not my responsibility. My responsibility, my kuleana, my mission and my duty is to share with you messages that have come to me throughout my lifetime and how I think that they should be presented today, divinely given to you. You can choose to listen or not. That's up to you. And of course, this is not your normal song and dance of aloha that people usually see. This is the other side of aloha. This is the side where you're going to learn that people from Hawaii are real. We're not stupid. And just because a lot of us are more simple in our living does not mean that we're not highly intelligent. In fact, I would venture to say that many who are highly intelligent advocate for a very simple, minimalistic life for the most healthiest of outcomes. So, to have a healthy lifestyle, keep it simple. To be actively involved in your health, keep it simple. Find some joy. There's so much. Every day there's death. Even without this virus, there's death every day. There's abuse. You know, it's funny because we've always had these problems. The prisons have always been overcrowded, and sickness is bound to prevail in there, and people will get sick. All right. And then we have hospitals, the same thing. And we've had all these things. And I'm not saying this is not unusual to have so many sick people at one time. This is unprecedented. But what I'm saying is, it's interesting that we've always had homeless, elderly shut-ins, vulnerable people with compromised immune systems, the disabled, those who are unemployed, those who are depending on Social Security and government assistance. We've always had this. We've always had a healthcare crisis. This is nothing new. But yet now, these issues, these life conditions are touching everybody. Everybody feels how it feels to lose your job because of no fault of your own. Nobody can judge after this. Those who are on financial assistance from the state. Nobody can judge after this how it feels to be in an unemployment line, because we're all 10 million people in the United States of America, including Hawaii, are in the same boat, unemployed. This is a very long unemployment line. All right, not counting the 6 feet distance, right? You've seen, I'm sure a lot of you have seen unemployment. So I would encourage all of you to take some stock of yourself and to know that everybody, we're all in this together. Okay? So, let me see, I'm going to have to put this music back on. Here we go. Okay. So, I want to end this because it's been a nice little talk. And I want to share with you that I'm very happy to be here every day giving some kind of message of hope, mano'olana, and aloha. Because many people cannot come here. In fact, majority of the world cannot come to Hawaii right now. So I'd like to share a little bit of Hawaii with you. I have some videos on my channel that you can see the scenery and some hula. I have a very nice heiau video that was produced by a relative of mine. I was a collaborator on that, and I really enjoyed it. about the heiau. I have some talk story videos with that others have produced with a very prominent man. His name is Uncle Kiliho Malu, Papa Robert Kiliho Malu, who has since passed away. But his aloha lives on in many of the hearts of the people whom he touched. And I briefly knew him, not closely, but I did know him and I did appreciate him. So there are lots of different ways that you can see Hawaii now. You can take a virtual vacation on any YouTube channel. But I just want to share with you a little deeper knowledge about Hawaii and how you can learn too. It's not just about the aloha that you see on a sign or, on some fancy websites showing you, what you can buy in Hawaii or whatever. Hawaii is a place of healing. And you can learn from those of us who know the ancient knowledge. I have only been taught, and I know just a tiny bit that I share with you. But I feel that it's time that all of us can share the knowledge that has come from our cultures so that everyone can take control of their health. Learn about what your ancestors have done in the past and apply those things to your own life so that you can have a chance at survival and about being actively involved in your health care, health sovereignty, medicinal sovereignty. Okay? No one should be forcing you to take any medication that you don't want to. Okay? Well, that's a should. A lot of times people are forced to take medications they don't want to. And that's sad. But I pray for all of you that you'll be able to be actively involved in your life. So get away from the news for a little while and take a virtual vacation. Not one that you have to worry about covering your face with. So I really wish you all well. E ola mau, ola is to live. Mau is to perpetuate or to continue. So e ola mau, so perpetuate the life. E ola mau, live on. E ola mau. And I say to you to take care of yourself, aloha for self, to take care of others, aloha for others, and to take care of the world around you, aloha for the world around you. And that's a malama, to take care, malama, malama lama, to enlighten, to take care of the mind. And I pray that you have been enlightened today, that you have learned something, not just about Hawaii, but about yourself and what you can do to take control of your own health, to listen to the information that is given to you from everywhere and to make your own decision, to use your mind and be akamai. So on this full moon of the Hoku moon, the most beautiful moon of the month to me, I love the full moon. You all take care. Ma'alama. Aloha from the Aloha Consultants channel. This has been your daily dose of aloha from the land of aloha, Hawaii. Thank you, mahalo, so much for joining me tonight. Ahui ho. Take care.